Hello and welcome to another Vinny Talks Yanks. I'm your host Vincent LaRose, and today the New York Yankees have finished off the regular season. Everybody has finished off the regular season, and the Yankees will end up with the number one wild card. Although the Yankees were able to tie the Blue Jays in record with a win today, the Blue Jays won today as well, meaning the Blue Jays get the tiebreaker and they get the American League East. I know a couple people were angry. There was some posts online. The Rays posted put up their like double-A lineup essentially against the Blue Jays. And look, there's a couple things that annoy me about that too. But at the end of the day, the Yankees should have won this AL East without it even being as close as it was. Too many games along the season, one-run games, two-run games, games we just gave up, up by 5, up by 6, end up losing. Too many games across the season, and unfortunately that's what happens. That's why, although people don't think this, every single game really does truly matter. And I think this year has shown, baseball, all around baseball has really shown. I mean, the Mets lost. The Mets aren't going to the postseason. They have the second highest payroll in all of baseball. They are not going to the postseason. The Reds lost, and still the Mets aren't in. The Reds had the tiebreaker over the Mets. It's just a great example. You know, Cleveland has the biggest comeback in all of baseball history, being down 16 and a half games. 16 and a half games. They end up winning. The Central. Absolutely ridiculous. Detroit completely falls off the face of the earth. But at the end of the day, this is about the Yankees. So we will be playing the Red Sox in a wildcard series starting Tuesday night, and boy, is this like one of the last matchups I wanted. I know the Tigers are good, Blue Jays are good, Guardians are whatever. The Red Sox are the last team I wanted to play in this wildcard series. One, their pitching is dominant. They have really, really good starters. I know Bayo is hit or miss with them, but against the Yankees, the guy always pitches well. I know his last start against the Yankees wasn't great. Giolito is kind of a hit, kind of a miss for them, I would say. I think we have the advantage with Schlittler going Game 3 there. But they just play better against the Yankees. They just play better against the Yankees. It's the truth. The Yankees haven't beat the Red Sox since 2004 in a playoff series. We have not beat them in a single playoff series since 2004. Wow, this lighting is making my beard look way longer than it actually is. That's kind of weird. Anyways, the last time the New York Yankees beat the Red Sox in a playoff series was Aaron Boone's walk-off home run in 2003. So it's definitely not going to be easy. I do have confidence in the Yankees. We're coming off 8 straight wins. 8 straight wins going into the postseason is great. I know this is not necessarily every single time, but generally, I mean, the Rangers a couple years ago are a great example of that. You know, they just heated it up at the right part of the season and went all the way, and they ended up winning the World Series. So it's still very, very possible the Yankees could, go in, roll over the Red Sox. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm a little nervous about that game 1. I know we have Fried on the mound, but Fried and Crochet have gone against each other 3 times this season. I believe it was either 3 or 2. We've only won 1 of those. So it's not going to be easy. Like I said before, Bayo was really good. We'll have Rodon Game 2. But I trust our 1-2, 100%. The bullpen, I've over the month of September I have gained confidence in them. Schlittler, his last start really showed us that he's the real deal. He is a good starter. I know he'll start today kind of shows me that Schlittler is the better option. I know technically rotation-wise it's Schlittler's turn anyways. But I think Schlittler, although a week ago I was saying he was probably the better option, I think now that Schlittler's last 2 starts have been phenomenal. He hasn't been bad, but he's still too many walks. He's still a little bit concerning to me. I definitely think he's a Game 4 starter if we get to a championship series or the World Series, but I think Schlittler for now has Game 3. So, overall, I'm happy with the Yankees. The season was very up and down, a wild season, a season like I've never watched before. It's definitely not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. It's not going to be like last year where we were like, all right, well, the American League is terrible, we're going to the World Series. And that's exactly what happened. We steamrolled through the American League. Did we play the best American League teams? Probably not. We got the Royals and the Guardians, so we had an easy way to the World Series. We got to skip out on Houston, but Houston doesn't even make it this year, so that doesn't even matter. So, overall, I'm nervous. I will be honest, I am very nervous. I do think this team is capable of winning the World Series, but I think teams like the Brewers, the Dodgers, and the Phillies are still better than the Yankees. American League-wise, I think we've proven to not only just the fans, not only baseball, to ourselves, we are probably the best team in the American League. We end up finishing with the best record. I know, like 2 weeks ago, we wouldn't think that, but just the way we finished, we have the best offensive numbers all around across the MLB. Our pitching is really what failed us this year, our bullpen, I would say. And I still have confidence in this team. I definitely think this team is capable of winning the World Series, although I don't think they will win the World Series. I definitely think they're capable of winning a World Series, and regardless of whatever anybody wants to think, nobody can predict what's going to happen in postseason baseball. I mean, 23 is a perfect example of that. Even at the start of the postseason, who would have told themselves that it would have been the Rangers and the Diamondbacks in the World Series? Not a single person. Everybody thought that it was going to be the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Astros again. What American League teams were really good that year? The Guardians were good. Everybody was thinking one of them. Definitely not the Rangers and definitely not the Diamondbacks. So making it in is really all that matters. I'm not saying that I think the Reds are going to go out and win. I think Reds are getting destroyed by the Dodgers. But we all know how the Dodgers, do they play the Dodgers? I'm sorry. I don't know. Who cares? This is the Yankees. So we'll start, before I get into postseason, like major postseason previews, we're going to start with the AL MVP talk. So everything is over. It's all done, all said and done. Rally stats are done. Judge's stats are done. So, as we all know, Rally leads in home runs and RBIs. Judge leads in everything else. I mean, I think Rally has more stolen bases, but who cares at that point? Rally obviously plays the catcher defensive position, which is much harder than Judge's right field position. But any of you guys who are saying, oh, but Judge is DH, no, he played, I think, almost 100 games in right field. So that's wrong. He played 50-something in the as DH, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. That's a third of the season. But that was out of injury, not because they didn't want him in right field. I don't see how you don't have value in Judge's defense, especially Yankee fans can say this. All the single time we had a Giancarlo Stanton in right field, and every one of us was like, oh my god, when is Judge coming back? We don't want to watch this anymore. So there's definitely there's definitely value in Judge's right field position. He also has more defensive runs saved, although I truthfully, I will be 100%, you cannot compare defensively. You cannot compare them at all. If Judge was strictly a DH, the Rally argument would make a little bit stronger of a point to me. But Rally, although he did end up hitting a bunch of home runs, he did not finish the season great. I mean, he hit a bunch of home runs, but besides that, he didn't. And I find way more value in a guy that's going to hit a little bit, not just less like a little bit less home runs. It's not like he beat him by like 20. He beat him by 7. He only hit 7 more home runs than Judge did. And if Judge doesn't get hurt, it's probably like 2 or 3. If we're being real, it's probably only 2 or 3. Maybe Judge even hits more because, doesn't get hurt. He stays in a little bit of a rhythm, doesn't slump for about the month he did after coming back from the injury. But besides that, all that, Judge is your MVP. If you think otherwise, you're wrong. And look, this isn't even just because I'm a Yankee fan, whatever, blah, 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 this and that. I mean, even Yankee haters are completely admitting to themselves that Judge is the better baseball player. And regardless, you want to say, well, who holds more value, MVP? First off, we know the MVP is not truly who's the most valuable player. It's just the best player all around. And second of all, even if you want to go to the value argument, the Yankees are nowhere near as good as they are without Aaron Judge. If you think otherwise, you're also very wrong. You're very wrong. The Yankees are 100% a way better team than Aaron Judge is. So are the Mariners, though. I will say this. Mariners are way better with Cal Raleigh on the team. But statistically, you look at it, Julio Rodriguez is actually the better player on the Mariners for the past couple of weeks than when the Mariners made this crazy. I think they went, like 18-3 to end the season, something like that. I know they had to end the season against the Dodgers, which is tough. But Julio Rodriguez was statistically in that time frame a better player than Kyle Raleigh was. But arguments aside, whatever, I think Judge is the MVP. Obviously, I'm a New York Yankees fan, so there is a little bit of bias. If you're a Yankees fan and say Judge is the MVP and you're not being biased, I'm not saying you're being biased, but there's still a little bit of he is the MVP. And truthfully, if we were Mariners fans, we'd be saying Cal Raleigh's the MVP. That's how baseball works. You go for the guy that you support more. Regardless of all those points, let's get into to my postseason preview. So, as I said before, the Yankees will be playing the Red Sox. Game 1, it's a wild card series, so it's 3 games. It's the best of 3. Who, if 1-2, it's done. Whatever. Yankees could win 2, Red Sox can win the first 2, and then it's over. Then nobody plays on Thursday. But there's no off days. Starts Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All will be in Yankee Stadium. Yankees did win the home field advantage in that aspect. So, Game 1 in Yankee Stadium, it'll be Fried against Crochet. More than likely on the Yankee side, you're going to see that righty against lefty lineup. Ahmed Rosario has really, really good numbers career-wise against Crochet, so you're probably going to see him at third. Maybe second. I do think they go Volpe over Caballero just to start. Volpe has been hitting the ball a little bit better lately. Got another hit today. I know the defense looked a little rough today, but he slipped a couple of times, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think they give Volpe the start over Caballero. And I don't know if they're going to go Jazz or Caballero. I know Jazz got hit, but he pinch hit today. I think more than likely, at least for Game 1, because you're going to have those 2 games with Jazz, they might go Caballero. I think they go up like straighty, all righties, as many righties as they can get against Crochet as possible, at least until they can get into the bullpen. Maybe then you see Jazz come into the game. But just to at least start the game, I think lineup-wise, it's going to be about, I think you still see Grisham in the game, so Grisham probably, I don't think Grisham leads off, but then you have to get into the conversation whether it's Wells, Rice. I think they go Rice only because recently we did see the start with Rice behind the plate against Max Fried. So I think they go Rice so they can have Goldschmidt lead off and play first. So our lineup is probably looking like Goldschmidt leading off, playing first base. Aaron Judge hitting second, playing right field. Cody Bellinger hitting third, playing left field. Giancarlo Stanton hitting fourth, DHing. Either Grisham or Rosario fifth. I think you go Rosario fifth, playing third. Grisham hitting sixth, playing center field. Volpe hitting seventh, playing shortstop. Maybe Rice eighth or seventh, maybe somewhere in the mix. He's gonna mix the lineup a little bit up, so you'll probably see Rice at the lower half of the lineup. Maybe you see Rice maybe after Judge. So you go Rice after Stanton. So I'll probably think they go that, then Rosario, then Grisham, then Volpe, and then Caballero. Or maybe they throw Rice between Volpe and Caballero. That's really up for the toss-up. I'm not going to give you guys an exact lineup because, truthfully, I don't even know. They might even play Jazz. So that's looking like, I would expect, not maybe 100% the lineup, but I would definitely expect Caballero at second, Ahmed Rosario at third. Maybe flop them. Probably Rosario at third and Caballero at second, as you'd probably want the quicker guy in the middle infield. Although Caballero, regardless of whether he's at second or third, is a better defender than Rosario. It wouldn't surprise me if they threw Caballero at third because of Fried. Fried is a ground ball pitcher, and you're going to get a lot more balls to that third base side because there are righties. So maybe him at third, but definitely expect either Caballero or expect both of them, Rosario and Caballero, to be playing in the game. Maybe one at second, one at third. Doesn't really matter. They both can play both positions, and they both can play them well. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. But don't expect to see McMahon, at least for the start of the game. He will definitely come in as a defensive replacement at some point. If they throw a righty in and Rosario's up, they'll probably pinch hit there. And then probably I don't expect Wells. I think Rice has just been hitting too good, regardless against whether it's lefty or righty. And although he's not as good at throwing runners out, he holds his own. And Fried has a nasty pickoff, so I think that's the perfect matchup there to get Rice in as catcher. And I think you see Rice in as catcher if Fried is going. If Fried is pitching against another lefty from the opposite team. And then that's pretty much it. The outfield is going to stay the same. Grisham and Bellinger are definitely going to be in there. Maybe you throw Caballero in the outfield and have Jazz play, but I doubt it. I think they're going to get as many righties in as possible. I don't think they go Dominguez at this point. I think he just hasn't played enough. And I know Slater's there, but it would really, really surprise me to see Slater in at that point, just with the season Grisham's had. I know Slater's probably better against lefties, but Grisham is also he's not bad enough against lefties where it bothers me. And just the defensive wise, you might see Slater. I don't personally think you will. I think you keep Grisham in center field, but who knows? So I'll give another try. My best guess for the lineup is you're gonna have Goldschmidt leading off, playing first base. Judge at the 2, playing right field. Bellinger at the 3, playing left field. Stanton at the 4, playing. He'll be the DH. Rice at the 5, as the catcher. Either Rice at the 5, or they might go double righty. I think they'll go double righty. They might have a Rosario at the 5, just so if the bullpen wise they don't give him a lefty lane. But that, yeah, and then Rice 6, Volpe 7. Then maybe you go Grisham 8, maybe Grisham 7. It's 7. I'll go Grisham 7, Volpe 8, and then Caballero 9. Maybe get 2 righties back to back with Crochet on the mound. Don't expect. Like I said, 3. It's probably the lefties wise. It's probably gonna be Rice, Grisham. And that's probably it for the lefties, unless I'm forgetting. I'm blank. And Bellinger. I'm sorry. I'm just not thinking right now. Bellinger will definitely be in the lineup. He's been so good against lefties that you can't take him out, especially with the defense. So that's my best guess for Game 1. Now we will move on to Game 2. It's going to be Brian Bayo against Carlos Rodon. So now with the righty on the mound, we go back to our traditional lineup here. You got Grisham in center. He's going to lead off. Then probably Rice at the 2, playing first base. Judge at the 3, playing right field. Bellinger at the 4, playing left field. Stanton at the 5, DHing. And then your mix up the lineup. I know it's usually Jazz 6. Sometimes they drop him to 7 though. So probably Jazz 6 playing second base. And then you'll mix it up. Maybe Wells 7. Maybe Volpe 7. Probably Volpe 7. And then Wells, it's just with that lefty lineup, you can really do anything. Maybe Wells 7, Volpe 8, McMahon 9, because you're going to see McMahon back at third base with a righty on the mound. So there's a lot of different ways you can play that one, but with the righties on the mound, it's much easier. And then if it were to get to a Game 3, it has been announced that Schlittler will start for the Yankees. I'm sure they're probably going to have Heel out the bullpen, so maybe in a scenario where Schlittler can only go 3, or Boone doesn't feel comfortable going him more than 3 for whatever reason, what's going on, then maybe you bring Heel out, try to get him 2 or 3 innings, and just go on the field of the game, because the Game 3 is going to be a do or die at that point, so you got to bring in who you got to bring in. But that game will be against Lucas Giolito, who the Yankees do have hit well against this year. I'm not too worried about Lucas Giolito. If I have way more confidence if we went to a Game 3 against Giolito, against Schlittler, than I would against Fried, against Crochet. I know Fried has been amazing, but Crochet is he's a different animal, man. He's a phenomenal pitcher. It's going to be really tough to get runs off him. I know we won the last outing against him. We didn't score a lot of runs, though, especially not against him, I'll tell you that. So we'll see how it goes, but I think no matter what, you see Rice in every single game. Rice has just been way too good for the Yankees. He had another 2 home runs today. I know eventually it doesn't end up mattering, but just the premise of it, guy, he's on fire. It doesn't really matter who's on the mound at this point. I don't care, lefty, righty, whatever it is. I keep Rice. Rice is hitting. Rice is in the batter's box no matter what. And then you're just every day, you're going to see Stanton every day. Playoff Stanton is loading. We're about to see, I'm hoping Stanton rakes the Red Sox in the playoffs too. We're about to see a crazy, crazy postseason from Stanton. And of course, the big one, the talk, the way I'm going to end the video, the big talk, as always, is at the end of the year when the Yankees go to the postseason, is can Aaron Judge show up? Aaron Judge, statistically, wild card wise, is very good, but as it goes on to the DS, the CS, and he's only been in 1 World Series, so I'm not going to hold those stats against him, but he's had enough times in the CS, enough times in the DS. Aaron Judge has got to get it going in the playoffs, and I will say this. If Aaron Judge goes, and even if we lose the World, even if we don't make it to the World, whatever it is, we don't win the World Series. If he has 8 home runs or something like that, something ridiculous, he's hitting over 300, then at that point you can't go any longer and be like he's not an all-time great, because he did perform when needed most. If they win the World Series and he doesn't perform well, I mean, you got that ring, which is all that matters, and as we saw today, the regular season matters. Putting up numbers in the regular season does matter. It absolutely does. Helping win, because as we saw today, can come down to I think 4 different seedings came down to the last game, which is wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, I think maybe 6, nearly all of them came down to the last game. So regular season is important, but Judge, you got to perform in the playoffs, man. We need to see some performance in playoffs. it's, I love Aaron Judge, and every time, he ended the season off super, super, super hot. Insanely hot. Over 600 on-base percentage in the month of September. That is, or maybe his last 16 games, which is basically the month of September. But that's ridiculous. The guy is on an absolute tear right now. There's no reason he shouldn't go into this postseason ready to perform, putting up big numbers and helping the team win. He has decent numbers against Crochet. He's got a couple homers off him. Bayo is not great against him, but he's good against Giolito. Judge just needs to show up when it matters most. I mean, he needs to solidify himself. He's going to the Hall of Fame, guys. He's going down as one of the greatest Yankees ever. But we're Yankee fans, and at the end of the day, only thing that matters is that ring on our finger. That's all we care about. I mean, obviously not the fans, so we don't get a ring. But all we care about is that ring. All we want is the Yankees to win a World Series so we can be on top again. So we can just be snobby Yankees fans and go, yeah, we win way more than everybody else. So, because we haven't been able to do that for a very long time. In my lifetime, they've only won one time. I want to see a World Series. I told myself last year, before I started doing all the podcasting, before I started making the videos, the daily shorts, whatever it was, I told myself I want to see the Yankees go to the World Series and just win a World Series game. I just want to watch them win a game in the World Series. That meant so much to me, just to be able to see my team in the biggest moment, because I've never got to witness that. I know they won, but I was 5 years old. I keep dropping this bolt. It's bothering me. I know they won, but I was 5. I didn't watch it. I didn't understand baseball. I didn't care about the Yankees. I cared about my own baseball, me being a little kid having fun playing baseball. The Yankees, they got to pull it off. They have to. I don't want to say they will, because there's that part in me that's just used to being disappointed. Not just with the Yankees over the past 15, 16 years, but with just being a Rangers fan, always having a great team and losing. Being a Knicks fan, we always sucked, and then we're finally good again and we lose. And I don't even want to get into the Jets, bro. But the Yankees are my team. This is my sport. This is what I care about more than anything else. I really, really want to see them win one. I just want to see them win one. And I don't want to keep running on about blah, 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 but this is the time. So that is going to end it for this postseason preview. At the end of every single series, there will be another video talking about obviously if we won the series, talking about the goods out of that, and then a preview into the next series. I'm gonna combine both because I don't have time to make like 15 videos every week, so I really only have time to make 2 or 3. And then the World Series is where I promise we're going to grind during the World Series. If the Yankees get to the World Series, there will be a recap of every single game, every last inning, whatever, all the information, everything will be broken down and talked about, what we can do better, blah, blah, blah. So there's a potential in that 1 week to the beginning of November, last week, October, there's 7 videos out, and there will be one after the next. So hopefully the Yankees can pull through and just win one. Please just win one. But it starts on Tuesday in the Bronx against the Red Sox. But that is where I'm going to end it. Thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you for all the people who will follow along. I mean, I had 70. I'm not joking. I had 70 subscribers 1 month, not even 1 month ago, a week ago. I had 70 subscribers. We're at over 350 now, which is, I know it's not in the same numbers compared to these other guys, but for me, it's huge. We're finally growing. We're doing it. Me and my editor, we're super excited. We really want to pump out more content for you guys. If you guys are enjoying, let me know. Any questions, let me know. And I'm always up for collabs if anybody's interested. So I love talking baseball about, even if you're just a casual fan, we'll hop on a Zoom call, we'll talk about it, we'll post it, whatever you want. Even if you don't want to post it, I don't care. I love talking baseball. Not just the Yankees too, all of baseball. But again, that's where I'm going to end it. So again, I appreciate every last one of you, whether you're on the podcast side or the YouTube side. Always remember that I do short videos every day. Those are posted on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff, whatever it is. It's all Vinny Talks Yanks. Instagram is Vinny.Talks Yanks. That's the only difference. But everybody have a good, wonderful, whatever it is. You have a good morning, day, night, whatever time of the day it is for you. Let's all just get excited for some postseason baseball, for some Yankees postseason baseball. And as always, go Yankees.